The Power Pod is an exclusive WSB radio production.
Cassie, you get one as well.
Yay, yay!
Will?
Yay, yay!
Paul?
Yay, yay!
Liza?
Yay, yay!
Ansel?
Yay, yay!
James?
Yay, yay!
Tommy?
Yay, yay!
Ryan?
Yay, yay!
Randy's papa?
Papa.
Your papa, I'm sorry.
Yay, yay!
There we go.
You got 2 pounds.
This is The Power Pod with Randi Okray, Christina Aicklen, Nicole Bennett, and your host, WSB's Jared Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's right. You're listening to The Power Pod, and I am, in fact, Jared Yamamoto from the Von Hessler Doctrine. You can hear me every day on News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB on the Von Hessler Doctrine. And you know what? I think it's going to be a good week this week. It's technically the first week of June, and this is the Power Pod. And remember, the Power Pod is a weekly recap show where we cover the current events of the week. It's a show where we're not afraid to get serious, and we're not afraid to have some fun, too. And again, I wouldn't do this show by myself. I've got all my friends with me. I've got Randy O over there. Randy O, how are you doing this week?
I am doing fantastic, Jay Reddy. Glad to have my girl back in the studio with us. So it's going to be a good show.
Yes, that girl over there is Nicoleo, who is just coming back from her honeymoon.
So excited.
Yeah.
How did it go?
It was amazing. It was so much fun.
I want to hear all about it, but you heard her over there. She was laughing in the background. That's Christina Aicklen. How are
Hello.
you, Christina? What's going on?
You know, it's a rocky start, but I look forward to this every week, and I'm so excited to be back.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad that we're all here. We're having fun. We made it to the month of June, and I want to hear about this honeymoon. So you were in Prague last week, and you decided to just skip out on all of us while Randy and Christina and I held everything down. And George, intern George, / producer, he was over here. We all held it down, but you decided, I'm just going to go on my honeymoon. And we came up with the bright idea
Sounds just like me.
Yeah,
and we came up with the bright idea that we were going to come crash your honeymoon. We wanted to go out to Prague and come see you guys.
We thought about it.
It was
We thought
definitely a
about it.
discussion.
I would have cried.
Randy
Happy
pulled
tears.
up the flight schedule and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
we were about to
Gosh.
pull the trigger.
We should do an international
I'm totally with
recording.
We absolutely
That would
should.
be incredible.
I think it would be a lot of fun to do something like that. How was it? So tell me all about it. I've never been to Prague. I've only seen pictures. The only person in this room that I believe has been to Prague is producer Georgie over here.
You have been. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I loved it. I had heard from so many people that it's the history, but it's also, it reminds me in a weird way a little of Atlanta in that it's a destination city. You can tell a lot of people are from all over Europe.
Yeah, they got the Beltline, they got Pond City Market,
They
got
do.
they got SunTrust Park, Mercedes-Benz, all the same things, right? It's basically a replica
It's like
of
we
Atlanta.
never left. Exactly.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's really like you guys have been to Prague then, because you live in Atlanta.
Well, you were saying earlier in the week that the beer there, it's
Oh, my
I
gosh.
mean, so the beer, what did they do differently? You said you didn't have any hangovers at all, which
No.
please, Prague, if you're listening, anybody from Prague, tell me the secret, because I am a beer connoisseur and I get hangovers and I want them to stop immediately.
Well, and beer for me too, it's heavy. It makes me feel tired, and I did not feel that once. I don't know what they get their water from the Alps. They brew it differently. I have no idea, but it is incredible. It's so good.
Now,
How about the food? I want to hear about the
Yes.
food.
So much sausage
Oh,
and schnitzel and
listen, I don't want to hear about what happened in the hotel room, okay? All right, so easy there, Nicole, all right?
Oh, I want to hear.
But we can only imagine what happened on your honeymoon.
Hello.
But listen, ladies, we have a service to do, okay? As much as we'd love to go through all the details that happened on Nicole's honeymoon, we have to provide our dear listeners with the current events of the week. That's what we're all about, right, Randy O?
That is exactly what we're all about.
And so Nicole, I know you've got this crazy story. You're a UGA grad. I think I know where you're going with this first story.
Yeah, it's been one of my favorite stories so far this week. It's an ex-UGA student that apparently, allegedly, of course, everything's allegedly, ran a Ponzi scheme outside of his fraternity house.
Ponzi scheme for what? How did he do this? Was he like a drug dealer, or what was he doing?
No, he set up a fake hedge fund and defrauded, I think, around 8 people. It was grads, family members of graduates, it was somewhere around $296,000.
Yo.
Wow.
Whoa.
So
Hopefully he was part of, is it the Terry College of Business over there at UGA?
yeah, I think so.
I hope that he was involved, man. I mean,
He
that's quite a
was.
scheme over there.
Yeah, okay, so he graduated with a degree in cellular biology, but he's working on allegedly a master's in business administration. I know.
With that skill set there, I mean, he would thrive in the
I
world.
know, it's like Wolf of Wall Street level, like minor, of course, but it's just incredible. He even when the investigation had started, was still soliciting investors and still trying to defraud people. I mean, it's pretty incredible that a student like this, at this 22 years old.
I mean, you would expect a 22-year-old. Come on, the people that we saw on our campuses were the drug dealers. They were the ones running the Ponzi schemes, and
Right.
And look at Randy. I know you're. Don't you try to hide this from me. Come on, you dealt with these people. You're trying
I
to.
don't know anything
Jared,
about
where are
that
you
side.
going with this? Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
about that life, thank you.
Yeah, listen, I know you went to school in Oklahoma, but you're from Texas, so I know.
Oh, wow, you got it right.
Yeah.
Finally.
Oh, Jared.
You know, hey, listen,
About time.
we're 8 episodes into the Power Pod. I'm bound to learn something by now, right, ladies?
I don't know. He's drinking all that beer, and I don't know. He's getting all these hangovers. Who knows?
If I could only get that beer from Prague, then I think I would be just fine. I think I would remember everything. But, come on. In Oklahoma, though, there are plenty of 22-year-old ladies and men that were partaking in the illicit sales of illegal drugs.
I plead the fifth.
And I know you're wearing your Tennessee shirt this week,
I
Tina.
am,
Which
so-
always a direct dig at Nicole, because Nicole's a UGA grad. And I come on, you saw that stuff. Come on, people were doing this stuff they were running Ponzi schemes like this all the time.
I mean, not that I knew of. I knew.
Oh, okay.
I knew of some hustles, but I mean, I wasn't involved in that.
But see, that's the thing, is nothing that elaborate. And he was
Right.
using this money for Vegas gambling,
Yeah.
adult entertainment. I mean, just really, it's bizarre. I just, would not have thought a 22-year-old frat
At
star
all.
from UGA.
I applaud him for his entrepreneurship, but at the same time, if you're running out of a frat house like that, I'm sure other people knew about it, and that's probably how he eventually got outed, right?
I would assume so. I'm actually not 100% sure on that, and they haven't named the fraternity house. I know the address.
What,
Yeah.
Kappa Tappa Kega?
Yes. Nailed it. So, Capategas, look out.
I can imagine it being something like that. Well, people are getting around Ponzi schemes. We've all done crazy stuff like this. This is quite a feat that he did. What ramifications is he facing for this?
Right now it's all sort of under wraps.
So he hasn't been to court yet. So they haven't. He hasn't been sentenced yet to anything. So I imagine. I mean, he's 22 years old. Hopefully the people that were frauded get their money back. But
I would think so. And the only
minimum
concern you'd have, well, I guess if you're not concerned for him, but they may want to make an example out of him, though, too, for other students who would attempt to do something like this, which I would never have when I was 22 years old. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could get into the criminal justice system all day. I just think that a 22-year-old kid, I'm not saying a slap on the wrist. He definitely needs to be punished for what he did, but I mean, he has so much to live for, and he's probably a bright guy.
Right. Well, what's worrisome, though...
And our jails are filling up all over the place, so why in the
Right.
world do we need to put more
I don't know.
people...
With that kind of plan, he needs to,
He needs to spend a little time in
that's
jail?
over $200,000 that you have,
Right.
scam people. Nah, homeboy.
With him
you need to-
continuing and to try to continue to scam people,
Right.
which, by the way, made me think of the Fire Festival guy.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
when
Oh, yeah, Ja Rule.
Yeah, well, when the guy that was behind it, I'm forgetting
guy who
his
hired
name, not
Ja
Ja
Rule.
Rule.
Right. I know who you're talking
But
about.
I'm
didn't he
blanking
in
on
one of
his
the
name, too.
documentaries in Netflix, I think their special, he continued to try to scam
Oh
people.
yeah, no, he continued to scam people until after the festival. He was still dealing with
mind-blowing.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
That's
Like,
someone who needs to
calm
be
down.
taught a
You don't get
lesson.
it.
Billy
I'm
McFarland,
sorry.
that's who it is.
Yes,
Billy McFarland. Look, see,
Billy,
my
yes.
memory like that, it just comes back.
Oh,
out.
Billy.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
which, by the way, if you guys have not seen that, it is insane.
Oh my gosh, so good. Well, there's the Hulu and the Netflix. and
Which one did you like? I preferred
liked-
Netflix.
Me too.
Okay, me too.
Me too. It was like a
Randy,
movie.
have you seen it?
was,
No.
Randy.
Oh,
You need to
Get
check
your
it out.
popcorn and
What's
like
the name of it?
I think it's Fire. I think it's just
look
Fire
up Fire
Festival.
spelled-
It'll come up immediately in your
Yeah.
Netflix queue. It's pretty popular.
It's fire.
And Billy McFarland had gotten in trouble with other frauds before. I don't think that this frat star at UGA, I don't think he's had any previous offenses to my knowledge. Now,
No,
I have a thing about kids that are just figuring things out. Billy McFarland is in his late 30s, so I'm a little different about that.
That's true.
But when it comes to college kids, high school kids, I'm very much like, hey, slap on the wrist. They made a mistake. Give the people their money back.
Boys will
and
be
then,
boys.
Yeah. and then they move on from there. But Tina, I know you've got a story over there. What's going on? What do you have?
Speaking of boys will be boys, take a blast to the past, guys, because Nickelodeon has revealed their cast for the new All That reboot. This is all that. This is all that. Yes. Okay, so you hear TLC. They're still singing in the new reboot theme song. You can hear Keenan and Kel, Amanda Bynes. That was the original cast, but they've casted a brand new, fun, upbeat kids that are going to run the show.
That
So
was like
exciting.
my all-time favorite show.
Wouldn't it be
I
great?
agree.
I'll tell you a fact nobody actually knows. I sent in it's called like a demo reel to be on all that.
Did you really?
Even on Disney Channel, like That's So Raven, they had like an opening, like her sidekick.
Randy!
Because I feel like, even though I wanted to be a reporter, I originally wanted to be an actress, but my mama was hating. Yeah, Mama, I called you out. So she was like, no, you need to do something that's going to get you money. Everybody wants to be an actress. But I applied and I didn't get it.
You could have been.
I
You
should've
totally
been.
could have
They
started
know.
it. There was
Oh, my
there were a
gosh.
couple of them. Obviously, Keenan and Kel, Amanda Bynes,
Yep.
and who was the larger girl on the show?
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
She had the little
She was
smile.
hilarious.
Yeah,
So
she
funny.
was great too.
She had that kind of
don't-
humor. Well, like she didn't make a face,
But I think
always
she had a
straight
double
face.
name. It was like,
But she never made it past
She
all
did,
that.
I don't know why.
And to an extent, I mean, obviously Keenan has done a great
Oh,
job
yeah.
with SNL
Yeah,
now.
he's
Right.
But whatever happened to Kel? I always
I know.
it's-
Lori Beth Denberg.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lori
Lori
Beth
was
Denberg.
Beth
She hasn't done
something,
anything
okay.
really since all that. And
Right.
I mean, I thought that she was hilarious on that
So
show. When
funny.
her and Amanda Bynes had a great chemistry.
They did.
But again, we're watching this as kids, so
I was going to say that. I remember as a kid thinking, why don't my parents think this is funny? Because it seemed so, it was almost like a junior SNL for us.
Yeah,
it
really
Sketch
was.
comedy for kids.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can't
Take
take your
your
order.
order.
Or
Yeah, Kel was actually,
Repairman.
when I checked up on him, like he had a kid, he's been trying to focus on his child and
He looks
taking a break
good.
from the. He looks a little different. He was taking a break. He wanted to focus on his children. So
Yeah.
that's the last thing I checked.
He will be in the new episode that will air on June 15th.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
I'm so
Yeah.
watching.
Y'all remember this? I do.
Yes.
oh
Was
man.
it orange soda or grape soda?
Orange
I'm thinking,
soda.
yeah, orange soda,
Yes.
definitely orange soda, man. It's gonna be all the feels when it comes back. Is it only gonna be a summertime series, teens?
It's going to be on Nickelodeon. It's airing at 8:30. That's all that I know right now.
8:30 Nickelodeon. Hey, you know what? I might actually go back to Nickelodeon for a reason, just to watch it.
Also, Jared, I know you're excited. The Jonas Brothers will make a musical appearance.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on the Power Pod.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800 WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
And we're back, and thank goodness we didn't have to hear about that Jonas Brothers thing that Tina had to bring up. The Jonas Brothers,
Jared, you love them.
I mean, they have talent, but I'm sorry, not my cup of tea. Definitely, y'all are the targets, and when I say y'all, I'm pointing to all the ladies that are listening to us and all the ladies in this room that I'm looking at right now. I am not the target for the Jonas Brothers, but Randy, what you got over there?
Well, ladies, all my Fendi lovers. Do you girls like Fendi?
Love.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, not the designer, like the cosmetic brand Fendi.
Rihanna.
So shout out to my girl Riri. Did you know what happened with Riri? Do you know what happened to Riri?
What happened?
Do you want me to tell you what happened to Riri?
Tell me what happened.
So guess what? Rihanna, for those who are unfamiliar, is the wealthiest female musician in the world.
I believe it.
I like that.
Little Tame Impala remix.
Okay, time. We're dancing right now. You guys can't see it, but we're in the vibe.
Brand new person.
Okay, Jerry, you like that song too?
Oh, well, so it's a Tame Impala song. That's why. And Tame Impala is probably one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite artist at the moment.
And now Rihanna is. Congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway.
listen, I love Rihanna. I'm happy for her. Didn't her and Prince Harry have a little thing for a little while?
That was alleged. Okay, it was improving. We ain't gonna be listening. We worried
listen,
about her and her coins that
I
she's
love
doing.
Rihanna.
Before her his time with Meghan Markle, he was going down to the islands and hanging out with her a little bit. I remember the photos that came out of that. And,
well, Rihanna
it was
is that
juicy.
type of girl. I would love to be her friend. Like, some celebrities you feel like you would have the most best time being her friend. So, but congratulations to her because that's definitely, record breaking on different type of levels. Her net worth, y'all want to know?
What?
Yeah, what is it?
$600 million.
Can I get a loan?
Right. And a lot of it has came from her Fenty line,
Good for
line.
her.
So people always thought it was Beyonce, but actually Beyonce's at $400 million.
Really?
And I did not know that. Here, break it down. I'll give you even more. Here we go. Madonna, $570. Celine Dion, $450, and Beyonce at $400 million.
I am actually shocked by that.
Right?
Well,
I just knew B was taking over.
Well, I think so. Earlier this week, too, that same Forbes article that came out, Jay-Z,
Yes, shout out
he
to
became the
Jay-Z.
first billionaire ever.
Hip-hop artist.
Hip-hop artist. So maybe with Beyonce's money, maybe it's split between the two of them. Do you think that's the case since they're a married couple?
Well, if you're it should be all one pot. If you put them together, then they're probably the most, richest couple.
No doubt. Them together,
Yeah.
they're the wealthiest ever. But I wonder if that's why Rihanna is first on the list, is because Jay-Z, when they're touring together, maybe Jay-Z counts the money for it?
I doubt it. They in this paper here that we got from our sources,
Forbes,
she's
yeah.
at 400. So I don't think they got a lot to kick it. Beyonce is definitely. I'm her diehard fan, but Rihanna, I'm very glad for her. I'm glad this is going on. I think entrepreneurism, if that's a word,
Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurism.
Yeah.
I
We'll
thought I
go
made
with
it up. But anyway, I think that's amazing. I think as millennials, that's kind of how we're gonna get our bread, y'all. Like working for the man. Hey, work for yourself. That's all I got.
Well, Rihanna never quit with her albums. I feel like there's been, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, Beyonce has kind of gone on breaks, long extended breaks. She's going on tour. She's not recording. So I feel like Rihanna just never quit. And then you add in the fashion line. I mean, that's...
Well, she did take a little break, but nowhere near
Well, and
Beyonce.
Rihanna seems to have a huge international following
go.
too.
Yes,
for
I
sure.
think
Yes, she
Beyonce
does.
may be more domestic.
Oh,
I
I
want
don't
the
know.
Bayhive to come
She is
after.
internationally loved, Beyonce.
Yeah.
She is.
Hey, listen,
but
there's room for love
Rihanna
for
may be
both
more
the
so.
Bayhive and for Riri. Come on,
That's
we
true.
got to be
That's
happy
very
for
true.
happy for those women that are doing a great job. Great,
This is true.
great news for Jay-Z. He's a little underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, right?
I
don't
think so,
I don't
too.
understand why people have this hate with Jay-Z. But you know what? Georgie's telling me we got to go to break. So don't worry. We'll talk more about this on the other side.
From Atlanta to beyond, it's the Power Pod.
Randy, you brought up a good point during the break. You were saying that, we were talking about how there's either, when it comes to Jay-Z, you either love him or you hate him. And with Rihanna making this Forbes list as the richest female artist, you brought up a great point during the break. You said that Jay-Z actually discovered Rihanna, and I totally forgot about that.
On the River was
so
the
again,
first
Jay-Z, he doesn't get enough credit out there. If you're a Jay-Z hater out there, you know what? Just you have to respect him for what he's done. The last couple albums haven't been as great as his first ones, but as an icon in that community, I mean, he's done an incredible job. I'm
Absolutely.
got to be super proud of him. But you know what we have to do here, ladies? We have to do something a little bit different today.
What we gonna do, Jay Reddy?
Well, you know what? I'm always thinking about different ideas for the show. And one of the things that people have been emailing and tweeting and sending to me is they want some loving. They want some loving on the show. And a lot of people share our content. They go to our Facebook pages. They go to our Twitter accounts. They go to our Instagrams. And we're so grateful that they share our stuff. And so Georgie over here, him and I came up with this grand idea to give these people some loving. What do you guys think about that? Well, you guys want to try it out?
I hear.
I want to feel appreciated, and we appreciate them. So yeah.
I think that we're going to call this a power-up badge. So for everyone that is supporting the Power Pod in more ways than one, you get a chance to earn a power-up badge.
Aw,
Isn't that
I
kind
like
of cool?
that.
Isn't that kind of cool?
I like
And you know, we even have a little segment sounder for it. Here it is.
Come on, Sounder.
Jared, what's this fan's power level?
It's over 9,000! What?
Oh, my God.
I love it, Georgie.
Go, Georgie.
well done. So we've got some fans, again, that are just awesome. They really support the Power Pod. We're happy for them. And we want to give them some love in here. So let's go through the list here.
What's the list?
All right. So first of all, we want to give a major shout out to our friend of the show, Rose.
Yay!
So Rose, congratulations
Rose, I love you,
for
girl.
being an awesome fan of the show. Keita, we want to give you a shout out.
Yay!
Cassie, you get one as well.
Yay!
Will,
Yay!
Paul,
Yay!
Liza,
Yay!
Ansel,
Yay!
James,
Yay!
Tommy,
Yay!
Ryan,
Yay!
Randy's papa.
Hey, Papa.
Your papa, I'm sorry.
Yay!
There we go.
You got two pals.
And from Nicole here, she's giving me these names here. She's giving me Malcolm, her hubby,
Yay!
and mom and dad.
Yeah.
So that's the Power Up badge. So that list, that's 13 people that we had there. I think 13 or 14. My math's awful.
They're awesome for listening.
They're
and
awesome
we love them.
for listening and for sharing. And you can earn your Power Up badge by sharing our content as well here on the show. Now, this week's a little bit unique because, I'm in a great mood this week. I've had a wonderful week, but I discovered as we began the show that it's everybody.
Oh my
one of the
God.
things that when you work with women is that sometimes this happens where it's everyone's time this month. So this is kind of how I feel right now at the moment.
Are you kidding me?
What is this? What is this song?
Even Flow by Pearl Jam.
Really, Jared?
You have
Really?
got to be kidding
This is what happens when
me.
you work with a man, and you're all ladies in one man.
I'm crying. Georgie is crying in the corner.
Like, wow, really?
Yeah. So
Can you believe he did that, Georgie? That is just wrong.
For all the fellas out there, I imagine I'm having to play through some grumpiness now. But you know what? Listen, I'm over here. I support y'all and everything that y'all are going
You know
through.
what?
I can't relate. There is such a thing as a myriad, though,
Randy,
believe it or
please.
not.
What?
Randy,
a myriad.
please
It
cut
happens.
him down.
A man, a period.
It's called a myriad. Yes, it happens
Elaborate.
once per month. Nothing really happens to us, but we get grumpy for one day out of the month.
I'm so sorry.
That's so sad.
You
Want a
know,
tissue?
So
Gonna wipe your tears away?
you know what? I'm just more amazed, and maybe y'all can help me out with this. That all of y'all are aligned at the same time. So
Okay.
Yeah.
How does this
You
happen?
know that is a real.
On the first week of June, how does this happen? Is this going to happen every
You're
week?
laughing, but that actually does happen.
Yeah.
I work in an office that's literally 80% women, and it happens.
Do
Okay.
you guys believe the myth that like when one girl is ain't Flo is in town, that she's around other girls and it triggers them to start?
Yes.
Me and my best every time I said, "Girl, you just started, didn't you?" Like, why did you? And how does that
Or
happen?
you go on
I
a girls'
don't
trip
know.
and then you all come back and you're texting each other who was on theirs.
Yes.
And it's weird.
That I don't understand how that happens.
It's black magic. It's,
So
it's red magic.
for everybody out there listening, I am in a wonderful mood this week. I'm happy. I'm having a wonderful time. But you know what? During these breaks here, I
I'm
feel
so
like
glad.
I feel like I've got some sharks coming after me in here. I got to be careful
Well,
with
you
what
sure
I
better
say.
be careful. Go and exposing our business on the
Yeah.
radio. Thank you.
Listen, that's what I'm all about here. But hey, how about I throw a fun story out there, right? Like this is a fun story.
Where's the story?
Okay, so everybody was following Jeopardy James, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeopardy James, he finally lost. I was really pulling for this guy. I liked what he was doing, and there are all these conspiracy theories as to why he lost. So I've got the moment where he actually lost, and here's Alex Trebek, who's the host of Jeopardy. Here's him being shocked when he lost.
Oh, my God. What a way to start the week. Congratulations. We're going to say goodbye to James, too. We'll be seeing him again, folks.
And I love it because I watched it live, and they said, we're going to see him again here, and then it immediately cuts to the next show. It's just the show is over. Like they didn't even talk to him again. It's like, oh, you ran, 32 separate shows in a row, won that many times, and they just...
Do you think that was on purpose? Because that was so
Right.
awkward.
That
Well,
was- yeah.
so there are a lot of conspiracy theories that came out. First of all, there's a couple things to address. The first thing is that whoever leaked out the ending of Jeopardy on Sunday night is in big trouble for that taping. So they spoiled the ending. Everybody knew
That's
what was going to happen
ridiculous.
when Emma the librarian beat Jeopardy James on Monday's show. That person is in major trouble. But now there's all these conspiracy theories that are going around as to why James bet so low. And I think I finally understand his logic because he had, I think, $23,600 or something like that. And Emma was up by about $3,000. She had $26,000 something. Everyone said, well, he should have bet more. But the reason why he only bet a couple thousand, I think he bet $2,000 or something like that, enough to basically cover. It was strange compared to what he's done in the past. I think the reason why he did that was to make sure that whoever was in third place didn't pass them. If Emma were to get the final Jeopardy question wrong, then he gets it right, and then third place gets it wrong. But still, though, the way he's been playing, I think that if you're in second place, you've got to you don't know what first place is going to bid when you're playing Jeopardy. So you just got to bet it all at that point. Right. I mean, he hadn't been in that position in a while, but these conspiracy theories as to why he lost is just ridiculous. He did set some Jeopardy records, though. We have to go back through the month of May and just remember what he did. This is quite a feat, quite a Jeopardy feat.
How much did you raise? $38,314, a new one-day record.
See, so he set
$110,914.
He set Jeopardy records all over the place. Will not be Ken Jennings, who was the reigning Jeopardy champ, and it was fun to watch. I mean, come on, most people that are watching Jeopardy are a little older.
Yeah, that was my granny, one of her favorite shows. We watched it together.
Right. It's fun to watch, but during this run, for the conspiracy theorists out there, if the show would not have wanted Jeopardy James to lose in that case, they were getting insanely good ratings. They got all of us back into it again. And, when was the last time that you watched Jeopardy actually on NBC?
Well, honestly, I got into it when Alex Trebek, the whole health scare with him. The cancer scare.
Apparently he's doing better.
That's when, I loved it. So that's when I started watching again when I saw about Alex. I was like, let me just watch him just in case the worst happens. So that's actually what got me back into it.
Yeah, so I think that it's good to see that the show is doing well. I was hoping that James was going to go a little bit further. I mean, he was kind of a strange-looking guy, but there's
Don't you never seen him before on something else?
He's done several game shows. I
remember that look.
Yeah, I mean, that underbite, man.
Maybe he was on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to miss that underbite. Listen, I'm not hating on. Listen, the guy's brilliant. Like,
are you on your myriad? Right?
Are we all cycled up at the same time here? Apparently that's a thing. So I just don't understand when it comes to that stuff. But Jeopardy James, sad-lived, but luckily there'll be other Jeopardy people that come along the lines. I don't know if Emma's streak is still going or not, but that girl seemed like a whiz too.
She knew her stuff.
I will throw my little conspiracy into things, even though I don't believe them. I thought it was a little weird that the final Jeopardy question was about Shakespeare when she wrote her thesis about Shakespeare, and she's a librarian. So I'm not, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist kind of guy, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, you're throwing her a softball here. Come on now, we need some harder questions.
She's a lucky gal. I mean, she beat Jeopardy James. That's a pretty big feat.
Yeah, she got bragging
when
rights.
someone asks you, like, what's an interesting fact about yourself, she'll say that for the rest of her life.
Yeah, she could say that.
Saying I'm a librarian is not interesting.
Is that a resume builder? What?
Librarians are kind of cool. They can be.
I imagine that would be in your experience category on your resume, right?
That's her kinky files.
Oh.
Come on, sexy librarian Nicole.
Oh, Randy.
Oh, I've said too much.
Oh, now you've just got started.
Now, ladies, there is another thing we have to address on the show. We've given out our power-up badges. We've all learned that we're in cycle together. But it's also our lovely intern Georgie's last week as an intern here at WSB. He's been the producer of the Power Pod since it started. And we're really proud of him. Georgie, go on and slide over to a mic over here.
Come on, Georgie.
So we want to give you a chance to ask us questions / we'll ask you some questions too about things. I mean, you got a chance to see this show launch off the ground. I mean, we're only a couple months old, so I can't get all sentimental or anything like that. Maybe when we get a couple of years old, we can get super sentimental about things. But it's got to be. What have you learned thus far in your internship here with us on the Power Pod?
Well, I've learned a lot from everybody. Jared, yourself, you've taught me a lot at EVH and here.
The Von Hessler Doctrine.
I'm extremely proud of all you guys. It was very cool experience to be here for the launch of it. You guys are definitely blossoming into great hosts and co-hosts. It's very exciting. So Yeah, is there anything you guys want to ask me?
No, seriously, this is the time.
love
This is the time to
George.
ask him because Randy and or as I pointed to Nicole, Randy and Nicole both work with me here at WSB. They do completely different things, so they have a different viewpoint on a lot of the work that we do here at WSB. So there's a lot that you can learn from them. So this is your chance, George. The mic is yours. And also, ladies, if you want to ask George a question about what he wants to do long term, or anything like that, this is the time to do it. I mean, you have got the floor. Go ahead, Nicole.
Well, I was just going to say, please use your voice in
Please.
some way.
Yeah,
it is
seriously.
just stunning. I don't know if that's too much, but
No, that's accurate.
That's too little. Yeah, it's great.
Too little, yes.
Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Georgie Pooh, I have a question. So, like, being an intern, we've all been there, done that. I just want to know, like, and I want you to be candid. Y'all, Georgie Porgy, like, he's a mild type of guy, right? Like, he's very mellow, very chill, but he's very driven and hardworking, and he wants to do a very good job, which I admire. So I just want to know, Georgie, like, what was the hardest or the most difficult thing for you during your internship process?
I would say the most difficult thing is just kind of getting over like nerves and things of that nature. Just kind of having. Not getting freaked out of my head and like kind of that thing and or overanalyzing things of that like that. Just that was kind of a difficult challenge because I came in here like really knowing that I was gonna want to work here, and then it turned out that I did really want to work here, and that just a lot of opportunity was thrown at me. This was something that I never would have expected, and that was super cool. And so it was just kind of like convincing myself like, all right, don't get freaked out, don't mess up, don't. Stay on the ball.
And one thing I have to give props to George about, following up on your question there, Randy, is that George, he's I'm not calling you old here. You're an older intern, so you're 26, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Most interns are usually 20 to 22 years old. They're undergrads, and I think you're working on postgraduate work now. And what a lot of these interns don't work full-time jobs at the same time when they're doing their internship. So I have to applaud you for working and coming in here every single day. I mean, George is the first intern that I've had in a couple years where he came in Monday through Friday for the Von Hessler Doctrine, and then would come back here and do the weekly Power Pod with us too. So so he's been in it. He's got a chance.
That's impressive.
And you have a job?
Yeah, that's a big part of what I mean. Just like kind of keeping it all together and just like trying to, juggle all the balls and things of that.
Yeah.
You did a good job. I would have never known. You kept it together, dude.
Yeah, I had to quit jobs and get new jobs. Like there was, so I was definitely moving things around and making it happen.
Which is good because I think a lot of younger interns, which no disrespect to the younger, I've had great younger interns too. A lot of times their parents are funding them, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if that's the choice that the parents and the child want, not the child, they're adults, the young adult wants to make, that's fine. But a lot of times they'd be like, "Oh, my workload's a lot." You're like, "You're giving me a lot of work." But when I've had interns like George that have gone through and worked a job. And they're coming in here every single day, it makes me know that it can be done.
Yes, it
You
can.
can do it. I remember when I was an intern several years ago, I was working 2 jobs at the time, doing an internship and finishing school. So, you can do it. You just have to adjust it. You have to be really hungry. This is an industry where it's not a traditional workflow. You're not going to come in here from 9 to 5, as Randy and Nicole know. They both work. Nicole works the morning shift here at WSB for our digital producer desk, and then Randy works the evening shift for our WSB digital producer desk. So there's not a typical 9 to 5 ever in this industry. So that's good. I think that with you having the hunger to work the strange hours, to come in here and adjust your workflow, that just speaks miles about you as a person. Absolutely. And I wish you the best with this kind of stuff.
Thank you very much, Jared.
Go ahead,
Can I
Randy.
leave you with something? It's a poem from Les Brown, and I just think it's befitting for this, and I hope you just take this with all your endeavors in the future, Georgie Pooh. All right, it's called, if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all your capacity, strength, sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness, nor pain, or body and brain can keep you away from that thing you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it, and with the help of God, you will get it.
There we go.
I love that.
All right, thank you, Randy.
And on that note, Georgie, why don't you take us to break here?
All right, here we go to break.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800-WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
See, Georgie Porgy over there, he's a natural. I see great things from. Hopefully he lands over here with all of us at WSB. We'd love to have him. We do have an open mic from the WSB Radio app regarding Jeopardy James.
I agree with Jared that Jeopardy James' situation might have been a fix. Not only was the question catered to the librarian, but he only bet $1,400 on the final question, which he has been averaging 20, 30 grand or more.
See, so he's making the same point. So, and if you want to leave your comments for the Power Pod, you just use the WSB Radio app, the open mic feature. You have 30 seconds. You can go through and weigh in on the conversation. I love that. That's great. I'm glad to have people. I love when people agree with me.
Oh, I knew he was going to say that.
I know so much stuff. I've got such a big brain that it's
humble
great.
pie.
That it's great. Hey, listen, Randy, it's time for your rundown.
It's Randy's Rundown.
Alrighty, guys. So, all of my Miss America fans, are you a Miss America fan?
I do.
You are?
I like
Huge fan.
You are? Okay, well, guess what? We got some things going down in Miss America world.
What's going on?
Gretchen Carlson, she steps down as Miss America.
Yeah, she's formerly from Fox News, and she got involved in it, and
Where's
I don't
she
know.
going?
I think that she was facing a lot of controversy because she got rid of the swimsuit competition.
That's exactly it.
Which, I don't know. I just think that, do we really need that nowadays?
Yeah, we should have kept the swimsuit. That's one of the best parts.
Oh, so you're for it. A lot of feminists are against it.
Like, I did pageants in college.
Yeah.
So it is a part of pageantry. There is not an issue wearing a swimsuit. People just need to get over
What's wrong with the swimsuit? Do they need to open it up to different body types? I think so.
Now that I agree.
Yeah,
embrace the curves. That's what we're all
about. A lot of
about
feminists
today.
feel like it's exploiting the body. Gretchen Carlson was under fire for it. Hopefully, Miss America can become relevant again. What's next?
What's relevant is fortune cookies. Do you guys like fortune cookies?
Yes, I love
Oh my
fortune
God!
cookies.
Guess what? It was a man. He won the lottery jackpot using the what? The numbers from the fortune cookies.
And here is that gentleman. This is Charles Jackson from North Carolina.
I hope it don't change me a lot, and I'm going to try not to change my life, but like I said, I'm still going to wear my jeans, maybe newer ones.
Oh my God!
Bravo to him. You know what? He deserves every penny of that. What's next?
All righty, yes. Up next in L.A. Shout out to L.A. L.A. is known for good things, but guess what? This next story is not a good thing. Filth from homeless camps is luring rats to L.A.
There are
City Hall is
There are
saying it.
some reports saying there are 50 blocks of homeless shelters right by L.A. City Hall. There are a couple of police officers that have been diagnosed with typhus, ladies. Typhus. Can you believe that? Like, I mean, that's
Like medieval.
Yeah, I mean, these are diseases that that are eradicated, that are happening
not
because there's so
okay.
much filth in the streets. Hopefully, LA, gets those. A lot of these people are mentally ill, so hopefully we get some help for them. What's next?
What's next? Yes, high heels. Okay, Nicole knows I'm a high heel wear to work girl. I have no issue with high heels. It's so fabulous. But guess what, though? In Japan, high heels at work are necessary, says Japan's labor minister.
Okay, so I would be a giant over there. So I'm already 5'10", wearing heels is not fun
Come
for
on,
me.
Lick.
Okay, so I wonder, because I feel like obviously high heels are nice looking, but I think that they've got to be uncomfortable, right?
Well, if you get a good quality heel, like a good cushion in there, they can be very comfortable and still be sexy.
Flats can actually be worse for your feet. I think that's what I've read, that the arch support in heels is actually better for you.
Should it be a requirement though?
No.
Okay.
People had a little life.
What's next?
What's next? So, shout out to people who went to go see Aladdin this past the weekend that it came out. If not, it's okay. Or Rocket Man. But guess who's on the top now?
Who?
Godzilla.
What?
It beats out Aladdin and Rocket Man to claim the box office title.
You hear this trailer? Who would go see Godzilla? All it is noises. I mean, it's the same story over and over and over again. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So if you're a Godzilla fan, I'm sorry I offended you. What's next?
Alrighty, everybody likes chicken. Are you like a chicken girl? I like chicken, papa. All right, so listen. Billboard campaign to take on Georgia's chicken industry.
First Hollywood, now the chickens. What's next? What are they going to do next, Randy?
I don't even understand. Okay, Nicole has her finger up.
So when I saw this story on your rundown, I'm not exactly sure of the details, but in Athens, in East Campus, there is a chicken farm, I believe, or factory, and I am not kidding you, a certain time of night, there is a smell.
Really?
It is horrible. And you would see the trucks go by with the chickens just stacked up on top of each other. And again, I don't know the details of this story, but it came to mind that maybe we could use to reform it.
Hey, listen, when you eat those chicken tenders, you think about that expensive price you're paying next time around. So those chickens need to be eaten. We're one of the biggest chicken producers, if not the biggest in the country. But we are running out of time right here. Ladies, we've got to put our hands in the middle. I know we're all on the same cycle together. You know what, Georgie? You could be Georgie, you could be on our cycle too. Come on, we got to put our hands in the middle here.
Stop talking about
We're
the
gonna have some
cycles.
fun. I'm excited. We finished June week 1 here on the Power Pod. All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Power Pod! We'll see you next week.
Yeah, yeah.